Hi guys, welcome back to another episode on the podcast. It's been a while. And I have a very good reason for that. Okay, so there's been a little bit going on, I feel like. Not really in my life. I haven't been extremely busy lately, but I'm just gonna get into it because it's kind of irritating me a little bit recently. Um, but this lighting of my room has kind of been like eating at me, and it's not something that I'm super excited to film a podcast in. And so that's kind of been like a stuck factor of me not wanting to film another episode. That's honestly mostly it, because then I go into, because I have so many plans, let me tell you, for my room. I have so many dreams, and I just need, like, yeah, I just need to do it and get the money for it, because I could save money for it, but I'm like, is it worth it, sort of? So I might make an episode about me going into the ideas I have for my room, because then I have like different vibes too. I'm like, do I choose like a more tropical vibe? Do I choose a more like pink chic vibe? Do I do like very colorful kind of like LED lights? Um, so that's been a really big challenge, and I'm just like, I'm not a huge fan of the video aspect of it, so I wanted to like make an audio of it, and I was trying to learn how to do that, and then that wasn't going very well. But I'm honestly like, I'm chill. I'm content with having the video. um, and the audio. Cause okay, so I want to put it on Spotify because I think that would be really cool. And then personally, just because I like listening to podcasts more on Spotify than I do on YouTube, because YouTube, like, if you close out of your phone, then it doesn't work. But Spotify, you can like close out, put your phone away, and the podcast still runs. Okay, um, that's a little bit of what's been going on. Cause I was kind of on a roll. I was really dropping some episodes back then. But I've also kind of been like a little bit of a comparison cycle with this podcast to podcasts that are like years in the making. So that's been a little rough for me. Right now I'm actually really content with my setup. I'm very happy about it. I like the glasses, I like the bun, I like that, the little lighting. So it's kind of just like, and I just gotta remind myself, like, all the things, they've been years doing it. I can learn from them. But okay, I wanted to make a podcast today about comparison and judgment and judging and jealousy. That's what I meant to say. Okay, because I think it's a really, it's I've been struggling with it lately. And I want to talk about it. I feel like there were other things I wanted to say about the podcast, and oh, I need to say this because this was freaking me out. So I was trying to sign in to be able to like become a Spotify creator. It's like an app, I guess. So that I can like find a way to put the podcast on Spotify, which I think would be so cool. Um, but it kept saying, okay, so I got the app, but then I couldn't sign into it. I didn't know how it was working. I was very irritated. I've been a little off my edge today. And not in a very good way at all, to be honest. But then I signed in just like on Google, you go to like creator.spotify.com, and whenever I was doing it, it was like, your iPhone has been hacked. And I was like, okay. And so first I shut my phone off, and then I like went back in, and like everything else on my phone is like working properly, whatever. And so then I go and I try to open it on Chrome because I think I was on a Koja because I heard like it's a whole thing. It's like an AI platform like Google, and it has like clean AI, I guess. There was this whole presentation on it at school one time about how it's like better for the planet and AI is like not good for the planet and all these things. That's a whole other topic, but I use a Koja or Kosha or whatever. And I don't want any judgment for it. I kind of don't like it sometimes, but like it feels productive when I'm using it. And so I don't know. But then I tried to search the creators.spotify.com on the Google, and that wasn't working either. And it kept saying, your iPhone has been hacked. And then I was like, if you don't take immediate action in 2 minutes, like, the last videos and photos on your photo album or camera roll or whatever is going to be sent to all your contacts. And I was like, okay, this feels like a scam, that they're scamming me about being hacked. And I was like, download this app and then pay this like subscription so that all the viruses are taken care of. And at one point, I'm just like, okay, this isn't real. And I'm like, maybe I'm gonna get hacked. Maybe all my photos and stuff are gonna get leaked, which I don't really have very much to hide. It's mostly just embarrassing stuff. Me like trying to film a day in the life. I have a lot to learn. I think it'd be really fun, but I have a lot to learn still. Um, and not something I want to go to my contacts. Nothing like inappropriate. Thank God. So that's where it's been at. I've been yapping for 6 minutes about nothing, about not what I want the podcast to talk about today. Today might be a little bit of a long episode. And maybe that's okay. Okay, but today I did want to talk about comparison, jealousy, judgment, all the things. Because I've been dealing with this lately, experiencing it. You know, it's an experience. But I just wanted to talk about that today. So where to start? So I think the first thing that I know is realizing judgment and comparison and jealousy, all the things, they reflect back on you. It's not actually like you hate this person. It's not like whatever. You don't really have a reason for hating the person, you know? And maybe this is really vague and this doesn't make a lot of sense, but it makes a lot of sense for me, I guess. But you don't actually hate the person, you hate what they're reflecting back on you. And that's what everybody says. Everyone's like, um, relationships are a mirror. That's what it was. Sorry, that took me a little second. But relationships are a mirror, and where you feel like you're lacking, you'll see in others, and it'll just like reflect it back onto you. So I feel like the first thing about jealousy and whatever is to realize that you're jealous, and to realize like to not try and push away feeling these things, you know, because I know I do this sometimes. I'll push away me being jealous and me feeling like a lack in my life that's being reflected by this other person. I'll like say it's like, no, I hate them. I hate them. They're a bad person. No, they're not a bad person. They're living a life that I want to be living. They're living an experience. They're experiencing something. They have something that I want. And to protect myself, I'm pushing it away and just saying like they're a bad person for it. No, no, nada. So I think that's the first thing we have to realize, is that jealousy, it needs to be acknowledged as jealousy and not as anger, whatever. I don't know. Maybe that didn't make any sense, but I feel like that's a really important first step. The second thing, I just have a list, and I don't know, it's not very much in order, but the next thing I have written down is like list the good things in your life. List the things in your life that you are proud of. Because when you focus on the good things get better. And when you list them, you start to realize, oh, I have actually a lot of good things in life. And maybe it'll backfire. Maybe you'll be like, oh, I have a lot of things I'd like to add to my life. Because then the second part that I've written down is like, what is the jealousy? What is the thing you're comparing yourself to? What is the thing you're judging because it's like hurting you? Judgment is just like a protection mechanism, you know. What is it showing you that you want? What yeah, what is it showing you that you feel like you're lacking in your life? Is it a relationship? Is it a way of being? Is it a mindset? Is it just like what is it showing you, you know? So how do you want to use it to create the life you want to live? I think this is where jealousy can be really, really like powerful and really important, because if you use it in this way, you can start to create like a super power of a life. I don't know. You can create a really cool life if you use the things you're jealous of other people to build the life you want to live. Because that's really cool. That's really good. I have a philosophy of like if there's somebody that I'm jealous of, to become friends with them, because then the things that I was jealous of before become wins for them that I want to celebrate. Um, and where I feel like I'm lacking in life, like I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like if you become friends with what Okay, where was I? I think it's back on. I think it's working. It might not have been stopped working before, but I don't know. I'm not going to take that risk, honestly, right now. What was I saying? Friends, jealousy. Oh, just like befriend what you're jealous of, because then the thing, because when you're jealous, you want to break people down. You want to see them do bad. Okay, maybe this is just a me thing. Like I don't think it is. Um, but you want to see the people you're jealous of do bad. I mean, I just feel like that's something that's like common for people. So when you become friends with them, those things that you were jealous of, like you don't want to see them do bad. You want to see them do good, and so you celebrate the things that you were originally jealous of. And I think that really like switches the mindset into like healing growth mindset sort of. Um, and then they also say like the people you surround yourself is what you become like. So like if you surround yourself with things you're jealous of, you're gonna become the things that you were jealous of because they felt like they were lacking within you. So like you get the thing that you were jealous of. So I might be using terms completely wrong, I'll be honest. But I think that's a philosophy I try to live by. Like if there's someone I see that has something that I want, whether it's a skill, a relationship, a thought process, a mindset, whatever, a way they dress, like anything, I'll try to be friends with them because then you just grow your friends and then you have friends based on what you want because jealousy is just showing you what you want. And jealousy is probably also just showing you like what you're afraid to have, maybe at some level. I'm not sure. I hadn't really developed that thought yet. Okay, I want to drink some water because I'm kind of forgetting to breathe right now. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're back. Um, the next point that I have is trust your timing because everybody has different timelines. Everyone has different timelines, basically, paths, journeys that they're meant to take in life based on things that they desire in life, different things they incarnated into this life to heal, traumas, karmas, all things. Everybody has a different path. And a lot of that path is based on desires too. Like your path is going to be created and shaped and formed based on the things you want in life. And that's just something I believe very deeply. Where okay, so let me make sure I have all the thoughts I want to say about this right now. Somebody might have something you want right now in their life, but you have no idea where your life is going. You have no idea what's going to happen in the future or what's like about to happen that's going to maybe make up for the things that you feel like you missed out on in life, you know? I personally, if we want to get a little personal right now about me, I have a lot of regret for my past. I have a lot of things I wish I did differently and a lot of things that I'm not proud of. And a lot of times my mind like wants to change the past and wants to fix what happened or just like do it differently, you know? I don't think that's possible. I don't know. I'm open to possibilities, but I don't know if that's maybe it is. I'll leave that open. But I do trust that something's gonna happen and something maybe is happening that is gonna help me look back on the past and be like, all of that needed to happen in order for me to get where I truly am meant to be and where I truly desire to be, you know? And everyone's gonna have a different path like that. And yeah, it's just using jealousy to like fuel what you desire because you just add to your vortex, you know. Abraham Hicks. She or no, Esther. Esther channels Abraham Hicks. And they just always talk about like if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think just search up Abraham Hicks on YouTube and you can like listen to it's all about manifestation and like manifesting what you desire, all that sort of stuff. Um but they talk about how every time you have a desire, it's like a rocket of desire and it goes up into your vortex. And that's where the universe like conspires events to happen in your favor to bring this desire into your reality. And so I think it's super cool every time you're jealous. It's if you can reframe it as just a desire you want, it's something that It's a desire that is a rocket of desire that goes up into your vortex, and then it's just like something you get to work for too. Like it just shows you more clearly because it's something that triggers you so deeply. Um, and then it's something you can like decide if it's something you want to create in your reality. Um, yeah, and trust your timing. Trust your timing. Trust that everything that's meant to happen is what's meant to happen. And I know that can be really hard sometimes. I know, trust me. And especially hard when you just like your mind feels clouded, excuse me, really foggy, all the things. But it's really like it's true. Because when you're in the moments of just flow, you're like, I got you now. I see why you were like trying to tell me to trust. And I did. And maybe I did, but I don't know, honestly. I'm kind of going off track here right now. So, the last thing I want to talk about is this thing it's a tip that I watched from, I want to see, can I like clip this? I kind of like holding it, honestly, though, the microphone. That's what I'm talking about right now. Um, but this last piece of advice is something I watched from a video. I don't remember her name. I want to say it was Gabby something. I don't remember though, and I feel really, really bad about that. Because it's like it goes through my mind whenever I have jealousy, comparison, whatever. Um, it's like a two-step process. So the first step is to like obviously like realize you're jealous, whatever. If they have something you want, wish them the best. Wish them the best. Say like, I wish you the best. I hope you get everything you desire because everything they desire is gonna be different than everything you desire. Um, and if you can see them like rising to their full potential, and you can also see you rising to your full potential, this is how I see it. I'm like, if I felt like I was the most authentic, whole version of myself, if I was like my highest self, whatever, if I had everything I wanted, like just all of it, like I wouldn't feel jealous of other people, because there wouldn't be a place in me that felt like I was lacking. This is kind of a side tangent, I feel like. Sometimes I rant and I don't know what I'm saying, and I'm just saying words, so I apologize if none of this makes sense. But if you picture them as like their highest, and then you picture you as your highest, if you're at your highest, you want to see them at their highest too. I feel like that's something I experience. Maybe it's not the same for everybody, but that's at least my experience. Um, so if you can separate yourself from wanting to do them harm, because jealousy makes you want them to be down, and them to be suffering all the nasty things that just don't feel good at all. So if you are like, I wish you truly the best, and then the second part, because that part kind of makes you feel like low, it's sort of like it makes you feel good because it makes you feel like your intentions are like more pure, but it still makes you feel kind of bad about yourself sometimes. At least that's my experience. So it's wish them the best, but then the second part of it is see what they have as a sign that you're about to get it. So I'm gonna try and think of an example right now. Let's say a woman, this is very shallow, but this was just the first thing that I thought of. And honestly, I feel like people can relate to this. Let's say a woman has really gorgeous hair, like beautiful, flowing, gorgeous hair. And let's say it triggers in you a feeling of lack and a feeling of jealousy because you don't have that hair. Or maybe your hair isn't like, you just feel bad about your hair and it's like an insecurity of yours. This is just my experience, but I feel like this is most common for humans. You're gonna want, you're gonna like celebrate when she's down. So if instead you can be like, I wish you the best, and you're basically like hoping that she doesn't get down like that, that kind of like separates you from the situation a little bit because you're no longer like pouring negative energy in, like wanting negative things for her. And then this is not making a lot of sense in my mind. Maybe this makes sense to somebody, and maybe that's all that matters. But I'm just gonna keep going for it and hope for the best. But then see her beautiful, gorgeous hair as a sign, because it's something you probably already knew you wanted, like, probably. Um, See it as a sign, like, oh, that's coming my way, you know? Beautiful hair, gorgeous, whatever is coming into my reality soon. And those are kind of like the two pieces. It's like wish them the best, wish them to have everything they could possibly desire and to be their highest. Because that'll also help you raise energetically higher too, I think. Or at least that's how it feels to me. And then like see it as a sign. Be like, if they can have it, why can't I have it? So like if they have it, it's a sign that it's possible and I can have it too. Um so I think those are my things about comparison and jealousy because it's such like it doesn't feel good at all. But jealousy is really it's just a sign of showing you like this is what I want. This is where I feel like I'm lacking in life. And this is where I want to be. And if we can use jealousy and compare like jealousy and the feeling of jealousy, I just said jealousy so many times. Ugh. But if we can use it that way, it can be a really healthy, healing, growth, beneficial, positive, all the things. It's a good thing because emotions like no emotion is bad. They're just here to teach you things, you know. So that's where I'm gonna end the podcast today. I think this is a really cool thought. I like the idea that like I like just the idea that emotions are here to teach us stuff. I think that's super super cool. Um, but I'm really excited to post this episode, and I'm not really excited to watch it over, but that's okay. Thank you for listening. I hope this video is helpful in some way because when I watched the woman that I don't remember her name, Gabby, hopefully something, it made a lot of sense, and I've really carried it with me, or I've tried to at least. And so I hope there's insight in here that helps you with your life. Because then, like, people, if we can just do this, everybody raises higher as a society, which I think is what I want at least. I think that would be a very, very good thing. But thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm excited to see where this podcast goes. So I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye!